Hi everybody, hope you are doing well and staying pain-free. So today I want to actually touch base on a little bit about how I travel with my biologics. Um, the reason being is I just came back from a 2 weeks trip, road trip in the U.S. Now this could be a little bit what you call it, a little mixed information here. I did not have to take my biologic with me. It was only 2 weeks, but I did in the past took biologics overseas when I went over to Asia for about 6 weeks or so. So a little disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional or have any good medical backgrounds. So everything that I'm talking about are actually experience that I have been used on myself, medication that's been used on myself, and things that's been treatments and everything else is for myself only. If you have any medical questions or medical answers that needs to be answered, please refer that to your doctor for advice. Thank you. So the reason why I want to talk about this, biologics, how do you carry biologics out, is because, I just thought it was a good time. I just came back from a 2 week road trip across the U.S. But why I said there was a little bit mix of information is because this particular time, I did not have to take my biologics. Usually with short trips, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks out, pushing it to the max, 3 weeks out, I tend not to take my biologics with me. So what I usually do is I, pace my timings. I want to get my injections in just the night before I leave. And then I'll take the next injection when I get back, and generally I can last 3 weeks without having any problem. It's a lot less now. I used to, when I start, I'm on Cimzia right now. When I used to start, I was only taking 100 milligrams for every 2 months, and that's, I was talking to my doctor, and he's okay with me taking a lower dose. So so I didn't have to take my biologic with me, but I am gonna cover my time when I took the biologics overseas. And how I carried it are these cases down here. I just purchased a case from Amazon. So you can buy this from Amazon, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. All these places, they would have these. And particularly, this is the one that personally I have. This one on the left here is the ice gel. The one on the right here, this one I have, it comes with 2 small packs of ice gel. The problem with these ice gels, they're fairly small. What they said it will last about 6 to 7 hours. That's probably pushing it to the max. And normally for a short trip, that should be enough. But for a long haul, it's not, and I'll tell you why. So there are different types and shapes. You can have a little bit more, fancy one like this, or this one actually looks pretty cool. I need to look into that and see if this will last longer. This is just like a like those water bottles, and it should have like a double vacuum seal inside, and the ice pack that they have there. It probably should last a much longer period than this guy I have here. Well, this is the case I have that I use for transporting my biologics. So it opens up just like that. It's got a lot of pockets here that you can put your other medications. Here, I carry it like this. Alright, below here. This is the ice gel. It's fairly small. This is not going to last you throughout a very long time. I was told that this tube can last about maybe 6 to 8 hours, and 8 hours probably pushing it. So when you do long hauls, you got to contact the airline just to make sure what are the restrictions carrying medications like that. You can easily find these over at Amazon, Walmart's, anywhere. There's a lot that you can choose from. There's something like this, fairly small, not that big, just enough to carry your medicine, and put this inside your carrying bag. Do not ship these. Make sure you carry it on board. When you get on board, let the flight attendants know that you are carrying medications and see what they can do for you. Because the ice gel in here is not going to last any more than 6 hours to 8 hours. Sorry, it's probably pushing it by 8 hours. So this is what I've been using. So the gel pack that comes with these cases, as I mentioned, as I was showing you the cases, it will not last a long 6-7 hours, probably max pushing it again. So you got to talk to, if you do a long haul, and I did call my rheumatologist, and my rheumatologist said call the airline and find out what their restrictions are. And I did. I gave them a call. I flew Cathay, and I can tell you, the representative over the call center, they don't know everything, and they probably give you some information that is not going to be exactly what it is when you get on board. So do call them anyway and find out what the restrictions are. Now I know in the U.S. when you fly inside the U.S. There's a limitation on how big of a liquid bottle that you can carry. So that's why when you buy these cases, the gel, it won't be too big. So you can carry those. But anything that's much bigger, like the one that I get all of my Biologics shipped to me, and when they ship it to me through UPS, they have these big bulk ice gels in there. You can't carry those. It's too big. It's not legal. So it has to be a small pack. So there's no way around it, and you cannot bring those big ones in. So I did call, and they said, go into the plane, talk to the flight attendants, and they will be able to put this and store it on one of the refrigerators for you. So that's not exactly true. My last trip, I flew to Hong Kong just before the pandemic. It's a 15-hour flight. So plus or minus the time between you leave your house, I give it about 3 hours. And then the time from arriving, getting out of costume, and getting to your destination hotel or family member's house, another 2 hours. So plus or minus, you're looking at about 20 hours in difference. So your gel is not going to work. So according to the representative, I talked to the flight attendant. They should be able to store it for me. So I got all that information, and it's good. I was comfortable, taking it. I have a 6-hour small little gel, and make sure I get on board and tell her to put this on there. Well, that's not exactly how it turned out to be. The flight attendant said she cannot store any medications or any type of chemicals into the fridge, because the fridge is used to carry foods for everybody on board. And it makes sense. It makes good sense. So, you certainly don't want that to crack and contaminate things in there, and I can understand that. But what am I going to do with the injection that is low in cool airs in there? But she did offer. She said she can give me a bag with ice in there, and I can put my package into the ice pack and just set it at my seat or whatever it is there. And since the cabin is kind of kept pretty cool anyway, the ice doesn't melt that quickly. And throughout the 15-hour flight, I asked her for a refill 3 times on the ice, and it actually worked out 3 times. I did get to Hong Kong, and just before I landed, I asked her for a little more ice so I can just have it with me and carry it to my destination. Did I mention carrying the injection on board with you on a carry-on? Do not ship it with your luggages. The pressure in the luggage area and the compartment is different. You certainly do not want it to be cracked inside your luggage, or the gel pack would the ice will be all gone anyway. So carry it with you. Carry it on with you. It is best to maybe have your rheumatologist write a note. So if there's any questions in doubt getting through the customs, or here in the U.S. is the TSA, it's much easier. So if you have that with you, that would be a good idea. I was lucky when I traveled to Hong Kong. I went to my aunt's house, and I asked my aunt to store it in her fridge for me, and I was doing a 1 month injection at the time, so I came back to Hong Kong a month later, and I went to a hotel. I injected myself. I still have 2 more weeks before I leave, so the next day after I'm done and checked out, hang around Hong Kong for a day or so, and then I head out to a different location, and then my final departure was I come back to Hong Kong and fly back to the U.S. So I have a center point of return. So it was easier for me to just store my biologics at my aunt's house. But what if I'm on the road, and I'm sure most of the people are when they travel, is that you don't have family members, and you just basically go to a place, unless you're staying in a hotel at a location for the 2 weeks, or for a week, and then move on to another location for another week or so, and you can move on what if you're on the road, constantly on the road? What we did is recently we all went on a 2-week road trip across the U.S. So we went from the East Coast right back to the West Coast, and we're not going back to the same location. So in the morning, when we get done with hanging around in the area, going on to all the attractions, and then we start getting in the car and start driving to the next destination. Now, although our time of driving is generally not that long, 5 hours at the most, and we would stop for food and things like that. But still, I don't have a place like I did in Hong Kong to store the medication in the fridge. So if I'm on a roll like that, the first thing I would do is, when we got there, the first thing we did is we had to stop by and load up with food and water anyway. So I would buy myself a cooler, and then a pack of ice, and then just put my biologics in there. And then the cooler will probably keep the ice in there for probably more than a day. And by the end of the day, I can always get to a restaurant or a hotel and have them fill the ice again ask them for ice. So I can easily just buy those ice from a gas station, and keep it cool that way with a cooler, and leave it at the car with me. But there could be a problem if I am joining a tour. We're not doing the tour ourselves, but if I'm joining a group tour where you actually get on a tour bus, and they take you from location to location, from hotel to hotel, you're not coming back, how do you carry that? To be honest with you, I actually do not have a solution. When I travel, back in the early 2000s, I joined a tour like that. It was just constantly moving on the tour bus from hotel to hotel. Although I was not on Biologics at the time, so if I have to do it again now and join a tour like that, to be honest with you, I do not know how to deal with that, because I cannot carry a cooler with me wherever I go, right? So you would be carrying, the buses would have a lower compartment for your luggages, and then you carry a backpack, but your backpack is going to be full of all your other usable stuff, and not your medications. So if anybody have any of that tips on, have you done tour with tour buses and all that stuff, let me know. I would love to see how you travel, and I can get some information from you, and see the next time I go, I can use it. So anyway, that is my experience carrying Biologics. So if hopefully this gives you some information on some people who are trying to figure out how to carry the Biologic with you on a trip. And that's how I do it. So with a case, and make sure you call the airline if you are doing a little bit of longer haul. You call the airline anyway, even if you're not doing a long haul or 2 or 3 hour flight. The gel pack should be enough to get you to a short destination within the continental U.S. But if you are traveling outside of the country where it requires you to go any more than 6 to 8 hours, you're probably gonna need some extra cooling on your Biologics. So do call the airlines, find out what the restrictions are. The more information you have, the better it is to for you to carry your medication, and you do not want to have any problem with that when you're in another country when you don't have access to it. So anyway, that's all for my video today. It's basically a little video that I thought I should do just because I just came back from a trip, and we'll talk about how I actually carry the Biologics. So anyway, again, thank you for watching. If you like my video, please give me a like. If you want to subscribe, I will have more videos coming up. Next week, I want to actually talk about something else that my autoimmune system and ankylosing spondylitis has caused in my body. It is a little bit related to this particular trip that has been cut short because of some medical complications. So anyway, stay tuned. Thank you for watching again. Hopefully you're all staying pain-free, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.